안녕하세요, Daddy Free to Play입니다. Sorry I'm a little bit late, so let's take a look at the battlegrounds for today. So it's a new event, and I think it's actually pretty fun. So I've actually had, I think like 1 or 2 rounds or something like that, and so far so good. It is quite interesting. So let's take a look at this real quick, right? So Battleground is a multiplayer matchmaking competition. In each match, 16 players compete in a 1v1 format until the last player survives, and this player becomes the apex player. Basically, you just earn a little bit more points, a little bit more glory. In Battlegrounds, the star rating level abilities ascension levels of players' espers are maxed, but the resonance remains unchanged. So this is going to be the pay to win factor of this event. During the event, players can temporarily switch relic sets. The equipped relics have designated attributes. During the event, there are 5 helper espers for players to use every single week. So here are the battleground combat rules. 2 players are matched together in a battle at random, and they can deploy espers to create a single formation. Now auto battle will be adopted the entire time, and winners can choose runes as rewards and use them in the following battles. This is going to be super important, because one thing to take note of is that your relics, whatever stats that you had on your own espers, do not matter anymore. Only the sets that you equipped onto your espers matter. Now, if a battle has not ended even after a designated number of turns, the party that deals higher damage wins. If a player loses, the battle ends, and their ranking and rewards are calculated based on the number of remaining players. Okay, so let's just jump right in so that we don't have to think too much about it. So let's see who we match up with. I'm the only one right now. This is gonna take a while. Do take note that I think there are some bots around. There are some players here who I have never seen at all, but I don't really think it matters all that much. So the thing is, even if you're a level 10 player, for example, your relics may suck, but depending on the set that you have completed, essentially relics that gives you stats will be a little bit more impactful sometimes. So we have to wait about another 40 seconds before we get a 1v1 match. And I must say that I really like this content, but there are some strategies revolving this, because I lost the first one and I realized why I lost. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this is obviously going to be a bot. Level 40 player versus level 60. So what I want you to take note of is, I'm going to use my Dahlia here, right? But what you notice is that the speed of my Dahlia is not actually the speed of my Dahlia. Here is 205 speed. That is a lot slower than my original Dahlia. But let's take a look at another Esper who is like, maybe let's see my height here. My height has plus 128 speed. I have no idea who are implementing these stats. Okay, so I'm going to go with the typical speed cleave, because I think this is just going to be a bot fight, so we're going to get it over and done with really quickly. So take a look at my TS speed. She is 173, which is fine, and my Ashley is 165, which is okay. But I think my Tricky should be a lot faster. Let's take a look. Yeah, my Tricky is 138 speed, and he's on the Zeus set, as opposed to my Dahlia, who is on the Windwalker set, who is still a lot slower than my Tricky for some reason. So make sure that you pay attention to all of their individual speed, because it's going to matter a lot. Because what you notice here is that my Tricky is going to go first, followed by I think my Dahlia or maybe my Ophelia. And like I said earlier, runes are going to matter a lot, and hopefully we get to see it in this video as well. Right, so I start off with Revolver and then a Sonic Camo. Right, so do take note that there are some speed differences over here. So Dahlia may not always be like the go-to Esper all the time, especially so for this content. Now here we have a bunch of runes, and I do feel like some of the runes that are really important are runes that give you speed. Oh, this is also really good. Hamstrung on all enemies for 2 turns. This is very powerful. Right, so now I'm thinking between Rune of Punishment and the Rune of Agility, but I do feel like maybe the Rune of Agility is going to be a little bit better, especially if my strategy is going to speed cleave the enemy's team. Because don't forget that it is still going to be a 5v5 match, which means that speed cleaves are still going to be super powerful. But the thing about the Hamstrung effect is it prevents the enemy from gaining AP, which is very powerful here, especially since most players are probably going to speed cleave. But at the same time, the 25 speed, I think that can be very helpful. Oh, sorry, my bad. It increases ally speed by 35. Holy crap, this is a huge head start for me. So I must say that I really like this content. For some reason, I feel like this is quite engaging. I'm not exactly sure why there is even a 45 seconds timer to begin with. I think maybe this allows you to go out, change your relic sets or whatever, come back in, and that allows you to tweak your team along the way. But we are going to start the next fight, me versus Punisher. I believe this is going to be another bot match. So the way they design the bot is a little bit smarter as well, to make them rethink their actions, which is such a scam. But like I said, I really like this content because it kind of allows you to play the game differently in a sense. Alright, anyway, let's take a look at this, right? We have the Hamstrung effect here, which is so strong. So I think we might go for the Hamstrung effect here. So just in case we encounter another enemy who is maybe a little bit faster, but they're not able to push their AP. So I believe there is a rune that is really overpowered, which limits the enemy's speed based on your team's speed. So you're always going to go first. But the thing is, if you have the Hamstrung effect on the enemy at the start, they will not be able to push their AP, especially if they're using espers like Dahlia, Unas, or maybe even Tia as well. Oh, one more thing to take note of is you can always talk to the Boom Boom here, right? He will give you some advice as well. So just now he said something like Fighter Espers do well with War Machine and Hammer of Thor. So I'm not sure whether Espers like Everett is necessarily going to be really good here because he may not be able to excel using Snow Dowager as opposed to using Hammer of Thor. Maybe, this is my assumption. Oh, K Wonder Kid. Alright, I think this guy is definitely not on board, right? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to speed cleave because we have the things necessary to ensure a pretty decent speed cleave unless he has the rune that makes him go first. If that's the case, then I'm kind of screwed. So the thing is, I believe he knows that I'm going to speed cleave him, which is why I think he's going to go a little bit tanky. That is one good way for you to counter a speed cleave comp. So the thing is, if you think you're going to go second, then it doesn't hurt to bring something a little bit tankier as well. So what he's doing here is he's using a lot of crowd controls. But I think no problem, I'm just going to use Ophelia followed by a Hyde. That's going to counter all his crowd controls over here. Unless he comes out with something stupid like an Ophelia. Okay, I think this is still fine. So at least, you know, there is no band pick and all that. So our speed cleave is always going to work. As long as we have our speed lead and we have our Dahlia, that's going to be fine. Just pick the runes that give you the advantage in speed cleaving. That's about it. Oh. This is going to hurt. Oh my god, this sucks. This is going to suck so much for us. So apparently Anesidora is really good. Right, really good because she's so fast. I'm really not sure how the relic system works with the game mode over here. We might be dead. We might be really screwed here. But I'm not actually very sure because in the previous round, my speeds, my stats were all the same. So it doesn't actually shift as you progress through Battleground 1 to the next Battleground, for example. And we're kind of screwed here even though we have 50 stacks. I don't think we're going to make it at all. And do take note that we cannot aim, right? So I can select her over here, but I am not going to target her at all. I'm just going to target everything else. But who knows, right? I might be able to win with a 50 stack Hyde because he does not have sufficient DPS. And I'm not countering at all. What the hell? Where are my Avatar procs? No way. No way. So we lost because of Anesidora. Anesidora really strong over there. So there is a lot more that I need to learn before excelling in this content. But there is also the battle pass here which can help you with your general progress if you're a pay to win player, right? So for example, over here we have 3 SSMs, we have 2 gold records, we have 4 Nexus crystals as well for a price of $5 US. I think this is good value. It's not bad. I think I might actually do the purchase over there. But yeah, that's it for this content. I think it's really fun. I think the design of it is pretty good. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below on how you feel about the battlegrounds. What do you think is good for? What do you think is lacking? Let me know as well. Anyway, that's it for today's content. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Derry Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.